Mia. Wow, that was really loud. So sorry. Do you know what day it is? It's Wednesday. What happens on Wednesdays? It is time for the TWC. Welcome to the Alliance headquarters. We have Andy Albright live back in the HQ. All right, I have some pre-flight instructions for you. We are now backed by integrity, which means they're real strict about like legal stuff. So if you stand...
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Wednesday Call Live! Filmed in beautiful Burlington, North Carolina in front of a live studio audience. Now, let's hear it for our President and CEO, Andy Albright!
Thank you. Good to be back. Y'all grab a seat. Oh, I like that voice amplification thing. Woo, baby! Made me feel like I'm somebody. I'm going to tell you what, I'm going to try and, Terry. I'm going to try and. Gosh, America. Whether you was born here, or your mama brought you here, or you figured out how to sneak in on your own. Yeah, now you're in a place with 330 million people. And you can become a multi-millionaire and nobody will know it. They will not call you up and talk to you or nothing. You just be just another millionaire, just another multi-millionaire in America. Nobody, you think, I bet you USA Today call. No, they ain't gonna call. Let me tell you what, daggum Times News, don't nobody call. You have to pay them to get them to come write an article on you. They don't give a damn. They don't care, which I think that's great. Whereas other countries, it's hard to do that, I'm told. I've been to these countries, like maybe, I don't know, 35 or 40 of them, and I've seen it looks harder over there because they got machine guns and stuff everywhere, and all this dictatorship, communism rule and stuff like that. America's freedom, baby. You can go out there and do crazy stuff and get rich. I was born right here in Burlington, and I would watch some television shows, and I'd be like, I want to live like that, not like what my mama and daddy lived like. That's what I would say. And I was like, I got to figure out me a way. And I figured out one way. I don't know every way, but I know one way, and I'd love to share with y'all some of how to do that. I'm going to try to get more and more intense with it. Some of the managers saw a little taste of it Friday when I was talking to them. But I want to tell you exactly how to do it, those that want to do it, and let's see if we can blow this thing up and get somebody rich besides me. Don't get me wrong. I got some guys that make $1 million, but that ain't what I'm talking about. I'm talking about getting some of them making $1 million a month.
Come on,
you with me? Does that make sense? At least $300,000 or $400,000 a month. I always call it like a Ferrari a month. You know what I'm saying? Like every month I earn a Ferrari. You know, you can get you a good Ferrari for $250,000, $300,000. Every month, earn one. And now let me tell you all this too. To be clear, I don't think I earn what I'm worth. I think I earn a lot more than what I'm worth. I didn't. These people go like, I just want to earn what I'm worth. I'd be like, you couldn't live on that. You know what I mean? Like I ain't worth nothing, but I get paid a lot. Does that make any sense? So if you feel, Beth, if you like, I'm unworthy, I think I'm triple unworthy. You think you unworthy for what you making, like what you think you're worth and what you making is not that far apart. What I know I'm worth and what I'm making, see the problem? That's terrible self-image right there. Does that make sense? So that. I just wanted a way that I could get it. Does that make sense? So people say, why did you do it? I don't know. I like Jane. I like my wife. I like my children. People are like, don't you love her? Okay, I love her. Calm down. But I like my children. I knew I'd love my children, but I just wanted to travel the world with them. I'm arguing with Spencer right now, trying to figure out what he wants to do with the rest of his life, or not really the rest of his life, but the next 12 months, you know, because he's graduating college. And I said, if you don't do something that gives you freedom to go hunting whenever we want to go hunting, I'm going to go hunting with somebody else. Because I've been waiting for you to get out of high school, which was a pain in the ass. College, pain in the rear end. He's getting ready to graduate. He should be coming into freedom, baby, where you can go when you wants to. But if he takes like a 9-to-5 job, you with me? Because you got to go hunt when it's right times to hunt. You can't just, we want to go next Friday. Next Friday is not a good day because the season's not open that Friday. You see what I'm saying? Like you got to have flexibility. I wanted to have that flexibility for myself. I wanted to be flexible to take my kids and do stuff. I just wanted to go do stuff. Does that make sense? I saw it, have fun, make money. That's what I want to do. And we got all this feel good in there. Have fun, make a difference. I want to make a difference for my family. How many of y'all want to make a difference for your family? Even if it's a family to be. How about if you're the family you want to make a difference in? Like you want to make a difference in you. Does that make sense? I'm going to tell you how to do it. I'm going to tell you over and over again. And those that will listen, I'm going to get more granular. I'm going to get it more explicit if you want to learn. And I don't care how old you are. Matter of fact, one thing I want to start getting out to the Alliance is, I like y'all people. I've been with Alliance 11 years, and I'm so proud. I'm like, Bo, could you just pretend like you just joined us? Instead of telling everybody you've been here 11 years? Because I have to explain to the new people, how come you're here after 11 years making $200,000, and I love you, but it's hard for me to explain to this guy he can get rich in 18 months when you've been here for 11 years and you kind of live in an average at best life. I'm not mad at you. You understand what I'm saying? But let's just go no seniority. Does that make sense? No seniority. Let's just say I got here this week and this is what I'm doing and this is how much I'm making. You say, you want people to think you can make $200,000 first year? Because this is my 11th year and it really takes time. I'm like, no, it don't. It don't. I made $200,000. I started on a 50% contract and wasn't even an 80% contract, and I made $200,000 first year, $400,000 second year, $800,000 third year, and I think I'm a slow grower. You with me? Diane Lampy came here. I think it was the first full year she was here. She made over $1 million, Terry. Wow. Does that make sense? People say, how long has she been here? 3 years. She's in her third. You understand what I'm saying is, I don't want, no seniority. Blake, today's day one. If you said today, and people say like, it's not a gradual thing. It's not a gradual thing, it's a snap thing. You flip that switch with the alliance and you can get rich. So I don't care nothing about rich. I just want to get a good life. Well, thanks for telling us. Keep reminding us, because we don't want to keep banging our head against the wall trying to get you rich. Does that make sense? We're not mad either. Never be mad at people that don't want to get rich. Let them be. As a matter of fact, they may lead to somebody that wants to get rich. Does that make sense? Like I want to say raise your hand if you want to get rich, but I don't want people to lie. You know what I mean? Like I don't want them to have to feel like I got to lie. I'm going to raise my hand because I know he don't like it when you don't want to get rich. So how about this? I can kind of tell how your face looks. In your head, in your mind, do like this right here. Don't go like this. But in your mind, put your hand up if you want to be rich. Just, you know what I'm saying? In your mind, just put your hand up and just wave like, pretend like Jesus got a string tied to your finger and he just jerking it. It's like he's trying to jerk you to heaven. All right? All right, go ahead. In your mind, raise your head up. Okay. I see you. I got you. All right, here we go. I wrote a couple books on it. One was called The 8 Steps to Success. The one we're going to talk about today a little bit is Listen. And it's number 3. But the stuff in this book is gold. Like you can't not make $100,000 and do what's in here. This is the most simple stuff. A dadgum caveman could do the stuff in here. Like I'm not kidding. It's stupid. And you can make $100,000. Okay? But if you're not making $100,000 and you want to come to me and say, look, you a lie, I go like, all right, let's just flip through some of the book. Today I'm going to talk about listen. Are you listening? Okay? Because you got people that ain't making 6 figures and they're not on this show listening. And they say they're going to listen to it later, but they not. They're going to be doing something else when they listen to it. I'm going to do another show on Friday. They ain't going to be on it. You see, because it's inconvenient. Does that make sense? I've been talking about the audio book, How to Stop Worrying and Start Living. And I'm going to go like, who has listened to any of that audio? Has anybody listened to that audio? You have? What's your name? Hannah? Hannah what? Hannah Davenport? What's wrong? Should I know your last name? No. Okay. Who else? Who's listened to some of it? All right. Who over here? Listen to some of it? Hannah, you listen to it? Is it because I was selling in on it? Who hired you, Hannah? Me? Terry? Huh? Terry? Okay. Did you want to get rich? Yes. You do? Why you want to be rich?
I want to be rich because...
Can you turn up the red mic, boss? Try it again.
I want to be rich because I'm tired of struggling every day. I want to get beyond paycheck to paycheck so I can have fun with my family, not have to be held back by things like car breaking down and all of that. I want to just be free. So that's why I want to be rich.
I'm going to tell you something. It's 150 to 250 times better than you imagine it will be.
I can believe it.
It's crazy. It's stupid. People say, is it worth it? It's worth 100 times more. A couple times I almost died trying to get rich. You say, would you? I don't even care. I'd have been fine if I died because I didn't want to stay poor. That's how pissed I was at being. Now, by the way, how good it is not why I work so hard. I just hated being poor.
Right.
I just hated it. I'm talking about disgust. Like hate. Hate. People say, you shouldn't hate. I tried not to hate it. I hated it. I hated it on purpose. I didn't care. I was like, I ain't going to have to go to hell because I hate being poor. I don't think that's not one of the 10 Commandments, is it? Well, then I'm good. You keep that. I'm going to ask you something else. All right. I do need to do some recognition before I get into this teaching. Tell you how many people are kicking butt and taking names. Can you go to my my activity numbers for the week? I don't know how to tell them to you, this one, because I'm usually talking to you, but you're not flipping everything. All right. Whoops. I made it go away, Billy. Okay, good job. All right. Chris Long submitted 33,000 this week. That's in a week. The reason we're asking people to knock out 33,000 a week, because we want the dumbest of the dumb to think that they could do 10 grand a week. Does that make sense? They'll go, Andy, I think you're putting a little bit too much pressure on people. I don't care if you do 1,000 a week. Does that make sense? I don't care. But you understand, to get rich, we're going to have to bring some premium. Does that make sense? And if you say, all right, listen to this. I'm going to try to tell you how to do this rich thing. My boss man, when I was working at a textile mill, his name's Cheryl Taylor. Sounds like a girl's name, but he was a guy. His name's Cheryl. And he was a big guy. And Cheryl went to the Citadel. And Cheryl didn't give a flip about many things, okay? Like, he's still a good friend of mine. He's a lot older now, but I was a little kid working in a textile mill where I was right out of college. And I said, Cheryl, how did you go to the Citadel? I thought they were just like Marines, like they would just drill you on perfection. He said, they come in cussing at me and hollering at me, and I said, let me tell you something. I don't care about no stripes. I don't want to get promoted. I don't want nothing. I just want to get through this, get out of here with my degree. I don't want to get promoted. I don't want to be a lieutenant. I don't want to be a governor. I don't want to be a king. I don't want to be a major. I don't want no stripes, no title. They said, forget you. He said, they didn't bother me no more. Does that make sense? So if you don't want to be, if you don't want it, I'm not going to get in your face. Does that make sense? Now you say, I would like to have 4 stripes or whatever. I don't know what military, I want the stripes, and I want the pin and all that. And I want to get the recognition. I want to have a title. Then I'm going to have to tell you like it is. So you just got to kind of help me separate, just don't be offended, okay? Chris Long knocked out 35,000 this week. Robert Wilson did 20,000 this week. And Paul Menachino did 16,000 this week. Paul said he's going to do 50,000 October, November, and December. Personal production. Let me explain something to you. On a 50% commission, you're making $200,000 a year. Right. Except for you can't stay on that 50% commission. You're going to get promoted up when you're doing them kind of numbers. Right. So you're going to make more than $200,000 or $300,000. And let me tell you something. If you can't sell as much as Paul Menachino, you should consider some bad stuff. You should just, you know what I'm saying? People say, I'm thinking about giving up. Don't give up, but I think you can outsell Paul Menachino. I really do. I think you can outsell Paul Menachino. Yeah, you can too. Okay, this is submit. You have to get it issued to get paid on it. So this week, Michelle Alleman issued 33,000, Megan Wood 20,000, Billy Crane 12,000, DJ Makins 12, Jenny Patel 10. So 5 people over 10 issue paid. Robert Wilson 9 grand issue paid. Chris Long 9 grand issued. Danny Johnson right there 8 grand issued. Is that your biggest week ever? Not your biggest week ever. It's got to be in your top 3 or top 5. Stephanie Rodriguez, 8,000 issued. Mia, right there, 8,000 issued. Katrina Guston, 8 grand, and Mark Hutchinson, 7 grand issued. I think Mark is back. All right, annuity production. DJ got $235,000 issued. Tim Long got 100 grand issued. Dee Dee got 86. Tiffany Jones got 70, and Kyle Cater got 58,000. Foresters. I'm pushing Foresters like 9 different ways from Sunday. Stephanie Rodriguez got 4 issued for 8 grand. I want to have the number 1 in the country for Foresters. They're running contests that we're competing against other companies, other organizations. I would like us to get the 1st spot, 2nd spot, the 3rd spot. Basically, 1 through 10, I'd like to be somebody off of our team. Does that make sense? So these are the 3 best we've got right now with Foresters. Top recruiters, Andy Riddle has apparently made up his mind to absolutely smoke everybody. 21 recruited. We put in 5 in the ABTF. Terry and Tia put in 4. Not bad, guys. Mike Marisi put in 3. Diane, 3. Stephen and Holly Davies, 3. Fitzgerald put in 3. Chris and Courtney Long, 2. Jane Bazan, 2. And Mark Marcellus. My man Mark done put 2 people in this week. Way to go, Mark Marcellus. Okay, let's go over to the next, whatever comes up next. Billy. Okay, Fidelity and Guarantee. We had a contest with Fidelity and Guarantee, and they gave away. They paid for your hotel room and your food and a party at my house. We had a crazy great party at my house with everybody that won this Fidelity and Guarantee contest. They said, let's do something for the 4th quarter. So here's what they did. We got a bad to the bone vest that has Fidelity and Guarantee on the front and the Alliance on the back collar. They've got 100 of these vests. All you got to do is issue 1 IUL. The little kid policy don't count. Annuities don't count. 1 Index Universal Life, and you get a vest. 100 of them are going to give away. For the people at the top, do we know the numbers? You want to give them to me? Number 1 with Fidelity and Guarantee. The other question is, we're going to do a number of apps or a premium? Okay, let's go with premium. Yep. Okay. The number 1 person will get $1,500 cash bonus. The number 2 person will get $700 cash bonus. 400, 300, 200, 150. So down to 5, you're at a $200 bonus. 150 at 6, 100 at 7, 75 bucks at 8, 50 bucks and $25. Okay, so I think that's $3,500 that's going to be given away. $3,500 cash plus vest. Next, Billy. Thank you. Fidelity and Guarantee. They want you to try them. They say once you try them, you won't go back. Right now, Stephanie, we've got Stephanie tracking at number 3 in the United States of America with 20,000 issue paid. The number 1 person has 21,800, so she's back about 1,800. She's going to win $3,200 extra. $3,200 extra. And an iPad. I just, what industry did Market America give away that kind of cash on a 2-month contest? Not hardly, dude. I mean, we're talking crazy money that these companies are throwing at us. We need to, Danny, on track to get a $2,400 bonus. You remember how many of them doodads you had to sell that little store y'all had? How many doodads you had to sell to make $2,400 clear money? That was a dumb idea, Danny. Huh? He was telling you about it? It was a dumb idea. A doodad store. Don't ever open up no doodad store if you think you'll make no money. If you ain't got nothing to do and you're bored with your life, doodad store. If you want to make money, if you want to make $2,400, get your insurance license. Vinny, I saw you back in the back. Vinny, come up here and let everybody see who you are. That's my man, Vinny. I just want to say hey to you. I want you to keep your distance. I don't want to. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. How about
Good
you?
to see you, man.
Absolutely.
Put that mic up there and tell everybody who you are.
My name is Vincenzo Napoli. You could just call me Vinny. It's a lot easier. And I am direct to Brandon Manley and in the Andy Albright team. Who I am is pretty much a regular producer like every one of you. I just love Foresters really, really, really too much. Like all I do is sell Foresters. But they love me and I love them. But a little bit about me, and you want me to tell a little bit about me?
Yeah.
So I started this a long time ago, about a year and a half ago. And
No seniority, remember?
No seniority, nothing. But it was pretty cool because I was in a restaurant, I was a head chef, I loved it. But I figured I wanted to try out something new. And I started 1 day a week, doing it on Tuesdays, once a week. And I ended up making hello?
Get that mic from Hunter or Taylor or Jennifer.
Hello?
What was
All
your
right,
name?
sounds good.
Hannah, yeah.
So I was working with my father. You know, I had one job. I was working in the restaurants. I had chef 2 jobs, and I figured, you know, let me take another job on. So I did it 1 day a week, Tuesdays, and I made about $4,000 in 1 month working 1 day a week. And I think this was crazy. So I did it a couple months straight, and I said, you know what? I don't need this restaurant business. So now I got more free time with my family, more time with my fiance, more time for myself, and I'm working less. I shouldn't say that, but I am working less. Compared to 100 hours a week, I'm probably working, what, 50 on a good week, maybe 40? But I'm making maybe 10 times the amount I made working 100 hours a week. So now today, I don't work at the restaurant no more. I work with my dad a little bit because he's my father. He comes first. So I don't even do this full time, and I'm still up on the charts.
Vinny, you remember when your girlfriend didn't like this business? Now she likes it, don't she?
She loves it. She says, I can't wait to go on the trip this year or next year.
Well, it's funny how people, they say, like, how do I get my wife or my husband to think this business is good? Paycheck? My wife's like, you think everybody can be bribed? I was like, no, just smart people. Smart people can be bribed.
Yeah, your significant other will probably tell you you're crazy. They'll probably tell you that you're not going to make it, or they might just say you're crazy for working this many hours or trying this hard. My fiance just pretty much said, just make the money and be happy and spend more time, and that's all I did. I didn't come in here to make $1 million. I came here to spend more time with my family and her, and that's all I achieved, and the money came with it. So if you can spend more time with your family and get more money.
That's why I don't give him no hell. He don't care nothing about being rich. You see what I'm saying? You can't give him hell. Just let him be happy. But if you want to get rich, he need to be working 100 hours. Does that make sense? You say, well, I don't want to work 100 hours, then I want to go get rich. I want to get rich, but not work 100 hours. Lottery ticket?
Well, you can work smart, though, and you can work 100 hours, but you can make a lot more than working someone who's working 100 hours and not doing the right stuff. So when you start working a lot, you learn from your mistakes, and then you start actually getting better, and then you make the less mistakes, and you make more because you're making less mistakes so much.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, make it bad faster. Screw up faster. That way, you know, who's that guy? Sawyer, Tom Sawyer? What's the guy who writes writes books? Huh? Yeah, Mark Twain. Mark Twain said if you want to learn about a lot about a kitty cat, pick him up by his tail. People say, well, you get scratched and have a mess. You'll learn a bunch about a kitty cat fast. Pick him up by the tail. Just grab him by the tail. Hold him like that. Right? So the same thing with the insurance. Book 100 appointments. Book 100 appointments. Make a mess. Are we saying the same thing?
Absolutely. Book 200 appointments. The more appointments, the more you're going to make.
Genius. Genius.
That's it.
Genius.
All you got to do is dial the phone.
Danny, have you already won a trip to
I'm gonna go there. I haven't won yet. You'll see on the leaderboards. I am at 112,000. So
all you need is 125.
that's all I need.
And you're at 112.
I wrote this. I sold 5,000.
Going to Thailand.
I sold 5,000 last night.
Thailand.
Last night I sold another 5,000 grand. About 3,000 with Foresters again. So
It's my friend Vinny. He's going to Thailand with us. What's your girlfriend's name?
Danielle.
Tell Danielle I said hello, and I look forward to traveling the world with her, especially to Thailand. Hey, you ought to go crazy and shoot for Chiang Mai also. It's only 220 points. You can do it.
One annuity, I'll get there.
He's right. Big annuity to get him there. All right, that's my friend Vinny. My friend Olga Mathis is at 10 grand. My friend Jara both of these guys are hanging out with us in Florida at the meet in Hutchinson. You can make a lot more money easy. Focus on Foresters a little bit. All right, so the anonymous is people at other companies. This is our company. This is where we rank on a national scale. Jake and Bell Krause, Mia Fennell right there. There you are at $8,000, extra $200 cash. All right, let's go. Let's see what's next. Oh, there's a lot of our people right there. Oh, the $10,000 challenge. We did these T-shirts. Stand up if you got one of these $10,000 T-shirts already. We bought 200 of these shirts, and we have now given away 128. So what is that, 72 more? 72 shirts left. So you better hurry up if you want to get one. These shirts cool or what? I like them. These are my favorite t-shirt giveaways we've ever done. Y'all can keep standing. Listen to this. All you need is 125,000 points to win an all-expense-paid trip to Thailand. Flights, car to pick you up, all the food, all the orange juice you can drink, and if you like that clear and white stuff, vodka, we do Coca-Cola, Diet Coca-Cola, beer, mango juice is free. You with me? Seriously. Megan Wood is at 500,000 points. I think she has already won enough to take her and a guest and her mama and daddy. She's real close to winning her mom and daddy a trip to Chiang Mai and Phuket. So think about that. First week we hang out in Phuket, and then we're flying up to Chiang Mai. I was looking at, I still do a lot of dream building. I was looking at this travel magazine, and it had the top 100 cities anywhere in the world to go, and Chiang Mai was one of them. I was like, that's cool. I didn't know it was that ranked that high, just a city to be at. So think about this. We're in October, November, December to go, and she's at 500,000. And Megan Wood is a single mama, no college education. She was a waitress at Applebee's. She just hired another, listen to this, a waitress at Applebee's now has a full-time human being working for her every day. Yes, ma'am, Miss Megan. Tell me what we need to do. Well, we need to get this stuff issued paid. I'll get on it. Can I get you a cup of coffee? Boom. To me, that's like, I mean, if I'm Megan, I'm going like, she works for me. And by the way, she already had a person working 20 hours a week. Now she's had another full-time person working 40 hours a week administrative. And she put over 100,000, not put in the bank, got over 100,000 in the bank. Work at Applebee's. Get some, y'all want some dessert or something? You with me? You say, you making fun of Megan. Megan is at 500,000. Anybody can do this that wants to. Anybody can do this that wants to. Isn't that crazy to you? Is that not crazy to you? It's just crazy to me. When I first got in this business, and I met a couple people making $300,000 that I thought, God, it just, all the politics today, half the words I use I can't even use. I thought they were below cavemen. They don't like me to say Riri, you know what I'm saying? But they were messed up human beings. One of them was slobbering, and he's about 42 years old, and he had on braces, and he was just goofball. And the other one had his hat on backwards. So I said, them fools make $300,000. And then Charlie Gianti, what a mess. These are people that, when I first started, like Megan Wood. I want you to go like, seriously? Megan Wood's making that? She's a waitress, but I bet she's like a Yale dropout. No, she's just a girl who, oh, by the way, she talks about all the problems she's had in her life. Like if you had any problems in your life, you're going to like her because she's had problems in her life. She calls it an addictive personality. 500,000, Danny. Remember when you got in this business, you say you want to get rich? Mark Hutchinson has been sick for a month, and he's still number 2 with 386,000. Katrina Guston, married, 2 kids. Les has some kind of job. 348,000 so far. Isn't that crazy? Now here's James and Jane Hill. 324,000. Paul and Sam Menachino, 315,000. You need 225,000 to win a trip to Phuket and Chiang Mai. So all these people have won both. These people are going to win. They're probably going to win enough for 4 trips, maybe 6, maybe 4 trips. You with me? And we got people that ain't going to go with us. And I'm going, people, seriously. By the way, if you're just getting started, you could start today and win. Or you can just calm down, because another contest starts in January. We're going to go on an all-expense-paid cruise up in Alaska. So we'll fly you up to Seattle and jump on one of the nicest cruise ships you ever seen in your life. And we will have a blast. And the extension, we're going to hang around in Seattle. All right? Let's see what else we got here. All right, so all the way down here, by the way, Terry and Tia all going all the way to Chiang Mai with us, just over the line. That is exciting. You ought to go ahead and go for another one and win 2 more. Stephanie Rodriguez, this is her first year with us. All right, so this is just, all these people are going. All these people are going. Down to Miles Gatos just won, and Kelly Haney just won. Next will be Gary Philstein. Y'all know Gary Philstein? He does that Haiti preaching on the Facebook Live. That's right. That's Gary. You ought to tune in to him. Check him out sometime. He'll be talking in Haiti and lighting them up. And every once in a while he'll say, cash value. I said, that's a word I don't understand in Haitian. I didn't know I spoke Haitian. But when he says cash value, I'm like, yeah, I know that. Mimi Romero, look at Mimi. Go Mimi. She'll be going to all expense paid with us. Dan Mirdo getting ready to go. Dan, I just chatted with him. Ethan Doers right on track. Georgia. So these are all the people right on track. Jason and Garland. Jason coming on, Terry. Your buddy. Where are you at, Vinny?
Right there. Middle.
Oh, there he is right there. 112,000. So you are there, buddy. But don't let up. Matter of fact, you seriously ought to shoot for the extension. Chris Manifold. By the way, this is, he's being trained. This is his first year too. First year at 110,000. He's being trained by Megan Wood. Annette, how's that training going with you? Huh? What'd you say?
She likes to push.
Give her her mic over there. She likes to push.
Yeah.
I had a lady, I hope she's watching, but I doubt she's watching. She said, my upline's not helping much. I said, so I gave her to somebody else like Megan. And she says, oh my God, now I'm getting too much help. I was like, I don't think, kind of remind me of this monk. One time, he couldn't talk. You ever heard about that monk? He couldn't only say one word a year. And the first year, at the end of the year, they said, you got a word? He said, bed. And they said, okay. So next year, come around, he said, hard. They said, you've been here 2 years, you ain't done nothing but bitch. What you gonna say next year? You know what I mean? How's the training coming?
It's going really well.
What do you mean by she likes to push?
She'll call me every morning, every afternoon. She'll check on me during the day.
She's got an addictive personality.
She does.
And she's addicted to helping you get better.
She does. And then when...
Come up here. Listen to this. Terry, this is what she does to people. Tell her what she does.
She'll call me every morning.
Every morning?
Yeah.
Do you get Sundays off?
No. I don't have a day off.
Sunday morning?
Oh, yeah. She'll call me early on a Sunday morning, like at 6 something, and I'm going, I'm not even out of bed yet.
Do you take the calls?
I take her calls.
What does she say on them calls?
She's like, I just wanted to check in and see how you doing.
You sound just like her. That sounded just like her.
And her favorite word, perfect. Perfect. I love me some Megan Wood.
Man, you know what I like about it is she ain't like this to-do person, you know.
No. She's
you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
She's 500,000 in your face.
Yeah. But she loves her son. She does that. And she does for him.
Mm-mm. She don't get about all that. Give me the money, honey. I don't care what you think about my ass. I won't tell you I have 500,000.
Right.
I got 100,000 in the bank.
Yep.
Does that make sense? I'm throwing out hints. This is how you make money. This is how you make money. You with me? This is how you make money. You kick ass and take names and quit. All that other stuff got to go. Does that make sense? Same what I was talking about in football players. Too many of them, they worried about everything. Half of them looking at cheerleaders, supposed to be trying to win a football game. Right. We win a football game, you get all the cheerleaders you need. But you with me? That's what they do. That's the. I was telling Millie, he's you in the NFL. You play in the NFL. So I said, here's the problem winning a championship at Louisville, Kentucky, or North Carolina State University, or Tar Heels. Most players don't want to win a championship, and it's hard to win a championship when people don't want to win a championship. Everybody wants to win a championship. No, they don't want to win a championship. They just talky win championship. They not doey champion. Does that make sense? If I got to get some people, Terry, I got to get some people, Tia, that they focused on it. This is what they gonna do. You want to go partner? Yeah. You want to go partner with us? Yeah. You want to partner with integrity? Yeah. This is what it's gonna take. It's gonna have. You're gonna have to be like, nah! No more, no piddly. Just kill it. Does that make sense? That's what we got to do. All right. That is who we are. These are all our managers that won trips. I think all these managers have won a trip. Brandon Beal is right on the edge. You got to have 220. Abear is right on the edge. Marvin Otsoy is right on the edge. And Adam Beth is right on the edge. So that's a done deal. All right. 10K. We had a couple new 10K producers. Chris Baldwin had, no. He found somebody. Where is it? Here it is right here. Gary Cahoney and Jose Marti. And DJ Makin's got a $10,000 a week, so they got the $10,000 package on the way to them. Oh, I want to show you all this Rolex. Here's the crazy thing. Look at this, $502,000. She's going to get her choice of Rolex watches. If you add up the value of all 13 of them, the number one watch is half the value of all of them. Does that make sense? The package, how much they cost, half of the value was to buy the number one watch. Now, don't get me wrong. She might not pick that most expensive one, but it is a girl's watch. That's the best one, and it's pretty bad. I think anybody will look at it and go, "I bet it's that one right there," because all the diamonds around it. Isn't that crazy? So Joe Dukes got edged out by Michelle Alleman. Marcus Richardson has now moved into the Rolex Club. This is to the end of the year, Marcus Richardson. Keep pushing, buddy. Robert Wilson, on track. Junior Correa, Brant Swindell, Adam Johnson, Kyle and Janina Wilson, Jonathan and Megan Yakey, Paul and Sam Menachino, James and Jane Hill, Katrina Guston, Mark Hutchinson and Megan Wood. Just out of the edge, Terry Edwards. Sure would be nice to get one in Rolexes. Billy Crane. Did you send in a message to everybody up here, don't go to sleep because you're going to move up in there? Billy Crane, Mia Fennell, so close. Minerve Profil, Jacob Bell Krause, Brandon Beal, close. Do we have a list of the new agency managers? We do? Or are you going to get it for me? What's that? Take your time. Well, I got other stuff to go over. All right, let's go. Y'all sit down. Hey, Annette, listen. How much you pay last month?
It was $7,500.
$7,500. What you shooting for in October?
12. At least 12 or better.
How much are you working? You can take this back. How much are you working? As long as you keep it up high, right? Just look. Just keep it like this right here.
Okay.
Does that make sense? All right. You all right?
Yeah.
You ain't gonna cry, are you?
No. My contacts actually was messing up this
Your
morning.
contacts. That's what I always tell my wife when I start crying. I have my contacts in breast milk. Put the mic up closer to your mouth, like this right here, and keep it right there. All right. You want to write $20,000 a month?
Yes.
You're gonna have to do what she says quicker.
Yes.
Like when I tell you, you got a mic, I tell you to put up here, you do like this, do like this, and do like this. I need for you to do it quicker. So when she tells you to do something, be like, attention.
Yes. She listens to me, like when I'm having bad days. She does. But
I don't want her listening to you.
the beauty thing about it,
to her.
no, she turns it around and makes it a positive outcome. So that's what's helped me a lot.
She takes your negativity and turns it into positivity?
Yes.
What is she, Jesus? Turning water into wine? How you turn positivity into negativity into positivity? Stop negative. Figure it out before you have to let her figure it out. How much you gonna write in October? 12,000?
No, 20,000.
20,000. You changed just like that. Give me. Okay, back up. All right, 20,000.
Yes,
It's a significant number,
it is.
okay? Are you still working a lot at Domino's?
Just 2 days. Just Saturdays and Sundays.
Just 2 days,
Yeah.
Saturdays and Sundays. How many hours you put in at Domino's on Saturdays and Sundays?
Between the 2 days,
Yeah.
12 hours.
12 hours. How many kids you got?
3 at home.
3 at home. How old are the 3 at home?
11, 12, and 15.
All right. And how many hours is your husband working at Domino's?
70, 75.
70, huh?
70 to 75.
70 to 75 hours a week at Domino's. Mm-hmm. All right. And who owns that Domino's?
Paige
Paige
Stokes.
Stokes. Mm-hmm. My friend Paige. Paige is not a dumb guy. He's crazy, mind you, but he's not dumb. How many Domino's does he own?
7, and about to be 8.
7, about to be 8.
He's opening one from Mebane to North Church, in between there.
All right. This guy I went to high school with. Okay. The best you can, act like if you don't do what she says, you're going to get shot, killed, skinned alive. Oh, one of your children going to be taken.
Don't go there with me on my kids now. My kids are my life.
Okay. You want them to be taken care of well?
Absolutely.
Then you got to do what she says quicker. Does that make sense?
Yes.
But you got to tie in those kids' life to you doing what she says. Does that make sense?
It does. And it
Okay.
makes it a tidbit harder when they're online right now. Trying to get them to stay focused.
Okay.
That has been tough.
Here's what I'm saying. When she asks you to do something, pretend like their life is on the line.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Not, here's what I get a lot. I need to work on that. I'm going like, you see what I'm saying?
I do.
Rather than needing to work on it, listen like this, like for example, let's say a guy's got his gun to Danny's head, okay? And he says to me, I want a pepperoni pizza. I'm like, pepperoni, I gotta remember, pepperoni pizza. He wants a pepperoni pizza. I'm not gonna mess this up and get my friend's head blown apart. I got a pepperoni pizza. What else do you need, sir? He said, a Diet Coke. Diet Coke, pepperoni. I hate those waiters that go, all right, got it. I'll be like, you better come back here. You better not got it. You better come back here. You better write that thing down. You know what I'm talking about? You've
Yes.
seen that. Mm-hmm. But you understand what I'm saying? What I'm trying to get across is,
I do.
is if he's got a gun to his head, and that man says pepperoni pizza, I don't want to come back in there with no, cheese. I'm going to check it out. I'm going to tell you something. When my wife sends me this to the pick up food, what do you call it? Take out. I'll be like, look through it, make sure it's right. They be, why? I said, cause I ain't going back with the wrong stuff. Does that make sense?
It does. Yes.
Last time I went Sunday, where it was, I went down to Willie's Burgers. Mm-hmm. I said, Bo, is there some ranch dressing there? He said, yeah. I said, show me. He looked in there, it wasn't in there. I said, go get me 3. I'll be right back. But you see what I'm saying? Like, don't take it so flippant. That makes sense?
It does.
But think about what I just did to her. If you think about everything she says with that kind of intensity, will that change how much you think about it?
Absolutely. Yes.
That makes sense? Proud of you. I hope you have a great month. Do you write from Foresters?
Oh, yes.
All right. We had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 new agency managers in the last 3 months. July, August, and September, we've had 9 new agency managers. Mike and Kate Morisi went agency manager. Brandon and Haley Manley, back in the back right there, went agency manager. Marvin and Rachel Osuna went agency manager. Jeremico Edwards went agency manager. Evan Patzer went agency manager. Brandon and Ashley Beal went agency manager. Mike and Brittany Rodriguez went agency manager. George Andershot went agency manager. And Marvin and Julissa Atsoy went agency manager. And I'm not sure if y'all had heard this, but Paul and Tamara Roberts went junior board member. So we got brand new board members on the team. So that's some exciting stuff. Thank you. 9 agency managers in 3 months, and we're looking to do it again. One thing I will be making sure, Terry, is that this one and this one and this one and this one, No and Clay, make sure that Vinny knows exactly what it takes to go agency manager. Like kind of what Annette was saying, like just be on them. Do you understand what it takes? You make sure he knows. Same thing for that Murphy guy. Making sure. Yeah, Vinny.
I got 2 new people today. I mean, I'm working on it.
You got 2 new people today?
Yeah, and I got Madeline over there.
Who's over here? Where? What's your name? Madeline. Where are you from, Madeline? Ohio. Do you live down here now? Welcome to America. North Carolina. Welcome to North Carolina, man. All right. Hey, let's go to this. Oh, wait a minute. Wait. We did? Yeah. I think I don't want to do more of this. I think I want to go to let's go to the listen training. All right. Mia, this book shows you how to get 100 grand. This book shows you how to make 100,000 a month. Danny, if you do what's in here, you'll be making $100,000 a month. Okay? Now, one of the subjects in here is listen. So, you getting ready to pull up my slides? Listen. One of the things in here is called listen that you need to do. This is part of getting you to 100 grand. But believe me, this ties in here. Okay? Because this is a lot. This book is a lot about recruiting and building. Because I knew this. To make more money than I deserve, than I'm worth, it was going to take a network of people. One of the reasons I like Paige Stokes is he's got 7 Domino's. Basically what you can look at, if you own a Domino's and you got a good manager and it's a good solid company, you're going to make 75 grand to say 125,000 a year off of that store. So if you have 7 of them, let's just say let's use 100 grand. You're going to make 700,000 a year. Does that make sense? Yeah. Not bad, huh? Not bad. And I mean, that's clear. Yes?
I can tell you right now, it's over $1 million.
I'm talking about what he keeps.
Well, I mean, his stores are making over $1 million right now.
Are you talking gross or are you talking about net?
Gross.
Okay.
Right
So
now.
I'm telling you, okay, say it again so they can hear it.
Right now, his stores are making him $1 million right now.
Okay.
Each.
And all I'm saying is it's gross, meaning he's making $1 million, but he's got to pay your husband, he's got to pay you, he's got to pay for the pepperoni and the cheese. Mm-hmm. And I'm saying he will keep $100,000 from that store.
Yes.
And now he might be really, really smart and he might keep 160. He might have some stores that are doing bad and he only keeps 70 or 80. We'll have to ask him. See what he'll tell us. But what I'm telling you is, if he was the manager, how much would he be making if he was the manager of one of the stores?
I think my husband, $75,000 right now.
So if he's a manager making 75 grand, but he owns 7, he gonna make 700,000 clear. Maybe $1 million clear. That makes sense? You say, well, 75 grand ain't bad. That's like saying 250,000 ain't bad. It ain't bad, but what happens if you get sick? What if your back hurts?
He had a heart attack 2 years ago.
Huh?
He had a heart attack 2 years ago.
His money didn't stop. His money didn't stop. He might have went from $1,070,000 to $1 million because $70,000 was his. So you making $250,000 and you go out, you ain't got no money coming in. You got disability. How much disability you got? $1,000 a month? What are you gonna do with $1,000 a month when you used to spending $250,000 a year? No, I got $2,000 a month. What you gonna do with $2,000 a month? You better not have no $10,000 a month disability policy. You're spending way too much money on a disability policy. You know? But do you know how much you got disability? What you gonna do if something happens? Huh? You gonna depend on that bank account. How long is that gonna last? A month and a half? You understand what I'm saying? It's like there's two ways to look at it. If something happens to you, how much money you got coming in? Man had a heart attack, same amount of money. 6 weeks, can't work, can't do this. Right?
Right.
Money keep coming in. You didn't hear him panicking over money when he had a heart attack, did you?
No.
All he's focused on was his health.
And he still is, actually. He's doing really well.
What's that?
He is doing really well with his health.
I told y'all he was crazy. We ain't going to keep talking about that, though. All right. If you want to make what you're worth, just sell. If you want to have security and you want to be able to give money away, build a team.
Go ahead.
Does that make sense? You want more than you're worth, build a team. I knew that I would never ever make more than I'm worth without a team. You know why? Because people will pay you what you're worth. That's it. They're not going to pay you more than what you're worth. They might even pay you less than what you're worth. But they ain't going to pay you 50 times more than what you're worth. And by the way, Paige is worth about what I'm worth. Nothing. You with me? You say, what do you mean nothing? That's what I mean. Worth nothing. As in nothing. 70 grand, 200 grand, nothing. Neither one of us worth multi-million. Does that make sense? It's the position we're in. I'm trying to help you get in that position with the screen book. Does that make sense? I'm going to tell you everything I know about getting there. All right. Something else I want to say about the dominoes. But that's pretty good how I did the pepperoni thing tied to the pistol to his head and getting it right, you know. Because you know how them drivers are. They'll mess something up in a minute.
Well, I am a driver during the weekends.
You do?
And I'll forget the ranch cups for a drink. So
What's that?
I'll forget a ranch cup or a drink, and I got to turn around and go back.
How much they pay the drivers?
Well, I get paid $15 an hour.
How much normal ones get?
$7.25.
$7.25. You know, I'm going to tell you what that reminds me of. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. My daddy would make me go to work in tobacco fields for $5 an hour. Now, that's 30 years ago, 40 years, long time ago. 3 times your life. Okay. Here's what you say, well, you want to make that $5? Because my dad would tear my tail up if I didn't go do it. And it was a friend of his that needed the help. See, I'm kind of thinking you in the same ballpark.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? In other words, they can't get nobody to do it, so she fills in on the weekends to help her husband because it's hard to get drivers. Right?
That is true.
Isn't that crazy? Like, it's back in the day. People say, things are different nowadays. Nobody makes you. Yeah, they do.
My husband does.
Yeah, they do.
He would get me in there every day if I'd let him, but I won't let him.
Here's what I'm going to try to do. I don't know how we're going to do this, but me and Megan want to see you start making so much money
I can get him out.
that he gets out. And y'all work together and try to build an income bigger than Paige Stokes with us.
That's what I'm talking about.
She's that close to them making more money than the guy that owns 7 Domino's. She's that close. She's flipped the switch. That close. Not kidding. Not exaggerating whatsoever. I'm going to find the right person. I'm going to prove it to you over and over and over again. Diane did it. I did it. Diane Lampy did it. We've had people do it. We need more. We need somebody right now today. Like 9 agency managers is good, but I need one of them to say, I want to go multi-million. It'd be cool if somebody in here, it's not a lot of people that to anticipate somebody would step up. But God, it would be awesome if one person would just step up and say, I'm going to do it. Now, I've been talking. I hope y'all been listening. Because listen's what we're talking about. All right. All right. Let's talk about listen in a minute. I've been talking. What time? Before I get into this listen, has anybody got a burning question? Because like some people come up here after the meeting and they be like, hey, I got to ask you one question. And I always go like, you know, it'd been cool if I knew that earlier. Has anybody got one question you want to ask me? In other words, when it's over with, don't come walking up here and say, I need to ask you one thing. So, you understand what I'm saying? Everybody clear on what I'm asking? Anybody got a question? You can ask a question. I want you to ask a question. You got a question? Terry, you got a question? Y'all hold on there. Terry's got a question.
So, what do you think? What do you think is the biggest obstacle to keep people from executing, listening and executing?
What do I think keeps people from listening and executing? I got it in my notes right here. It's not that I was going to cover it anyway, but it's ego. I don't understand that exactly, but listening and executing. Ego, I think, is number one from the people that could do it. The people, like if you lined up, like if I had this front row just line up and I said, like, if I took the very capable ones down here, what keeps them from doing it is ego. Okay? The ones down here that are not that smart, it's self-image. Does that make sense? So here, they think they're too smart, and that kills them. And here, they think they're too dumb, and that kills them. Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
So with this person, we got to get them to understand dumber people than them have done this. All you got to do is do it. Just A, B, C, D, and it works. Does that make sense? The difference between this, Malik, and football, like if the run's going that way and I'm the offensive lineman, I'm supposed to lead with this foot, not this one, right? Okay, but let me explain something to you. If I execute properly, it's football, I'm going to get my ass run over because I'm not that strong and I'm not that big. With this business, you can be this tall and this dumb. As long as you step that foot, it works. Does that make sense? There's no God-given talent needed in this business to get rich. No dadgum intelligence needed. I mean, how much intelligence does it take? I mean, I always say this in my football town. I'll be like, how much intelligence does it take to remember the hut is on 2? I mean, don't y'all talk about it in that huddle before? Like, hey, look, on 2, right? Jerk come out 2 seconds later. Everybody done took off. He's standing there looking. It's time to go. Like, God almighty. Does that make sense? In this business, you execute and it works. There, you've got to execute and have talent. There's no talent needed over here. They're the dumbest people in the world I've seen do this. Matter of fact, hello, how you doing? That makes sense? I wonder if going on the right hut has to do with how bad you want to be rich or how bad you want to be a champion or whatever. Okay, does that make sense? So we got to get the dumb ones to realize dumber people than them did it. And then the ones that are too smart, that's, somehow we got to get them to confront the truth. Confront the truth. Like, you ain't growing, Bo. Why are you so arrogant and ain't nothing happening? A man's over here growing 80% and you're at 2%. Something's wrong. What's with your ego? But how do we get them to do that? Get them to read a book? Maybe they come, but just, I guess we can pray for them. In other words, that's usually who I end up with working the most. Because all I got to do is tell them, any dumb. People dumber than you've done this. But you get over here, these arrogant ones, man, whew, it's just hard to know what to say to them. You know what I mean? And I can't relate to them because I ain't smart like they are. You know what I mean? Like I just ain't smart. I ain't arrogant like them either. I know I'm stupid. I got close people, family members that tell me all the time, I can't forget it. You know what I'm saying? I just stay right over there. Is that? Mm-hmm. Yeah. But now want to is everything. You know, because if them people don't want to and them people don't want to, you're going to have to get a bunch of no more people to work with. You got to find people that want it. You know? Anybody else got a good question? What's her name again? Hannah. Go ahead.
How do you know when to keep on pouring in and pushing people, and when to just kind of like not wash your hands, but just let them do what they're going to do?
You see how that girl, when tears come up? That's when you stop right then.
But you know, because you got people who they.
Hey, listen. I know you think I'm kidding, but see how quick I answered you. Did I hesitate? Do you think I've had that question before? Do you think I've answered it before? Now, do you think I'm telling you the truth?
Yes,
Put the mic back up.
Yes, sir.
But does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. It does.
Like that's when I stop pushing. Is when I start crying. I got Kleenex in front of my desk. You sit at my desk? I'm like, all right, look, there's a Kleenex. When you need them, grab one. Because like I said, I don't want to be just talking and they start crying and I don't even see it. When I see that Kleenex, I'll be like, white flag, white flag.
Got it.
You know where Danny gets it from. That's good. You was going to elaborate with that question further.
Well, you know, because you have those people that you just keep on pouring in, and it seems like you're telling them the same thing over and over, and they're just not getting it. Do you keep on with those people, or you do?
Yeah,
Okay.
I do. I keep on. Like.
So does Megan.
Like Megan's just keep on with her.
Okay.
It'll take.
Because Megan knows I can do it.
See, she's listening and she ain't crying. Megan keeps popping it. You with me?
Right.
And then I accelerated it and got them tears coming. You with me?
Yes, sir.
Does that make sense?
Yes, sir.
Like literally.
Cry.
I know your contacts hurt. Your contacts hurt. 2 more seconds, Bo, and they've been coming like crocodile tears, baby.
It takes a lot to make me cry.
Did I make her cry? Yeah. You got a question?
Yes.
All right.
Okay, so you know how when you're working out, you have...
No. Nope.
Me
No,
either.
go ahead, kid. I did. I remember one time I did.
Okay, yeah. Well, that time...
My back's been hurting. I can't work out. I never forgot about that.
Well, you know how people who work out, every now and then they have these... they need to do something to shake up their bodies and switch their routine. You know what I'm
If you
talking
do the
about?
same exercise over and over, you got to change it up.
Yeah, you got to change it up.
That's right.
So how true is that in business? I mean, is it something where it needs to just be a constant doing the same thing until you get the job done?
Andy, that's a good question for Megan Wood because she is consistent.
I want to know from Andy Albright.
Yeah. You know, I'm trying to tie those two together. To me, the easiest thing in the world is business and making money. And it's worth it. Does that make sense? So like so many other, like working out, I'm like, You know, people say like, oh, it's worth it. I'm like, okay. You know? Like,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, I mean, the other thing to me about in business, it's non-stop challenges. Like today, if I went through the funny stuff that's going on in this room with these people, I mean, to make you die laughing, make you cry. I mean, how much more of her story are you going to hear? You know what I mean? Like, I mess you up. Come here. I won't embarrass you. Come here. Listen, I'll tell you this.
I don't know about all that.
Watch this. I love this girl. Listen to this, huh?
I said, you're
Mic
good
up.
You're good at embarrassing people.
Yep, I am. But listen to this. Before you met your husband, tell her how you were living.
Me?
Yeah.
In a trailer that had no floor with 5 children.
Was any of the windows busted out?
Windows were busted out.
Did y'all have tape on it?
Yeah, duct tape on the back door.
How about that? Is that not interesting to you? I want to go like, what happened to the guy that left you here with those 5 kids? And are all those his kids? And you know what I mean? Like, to me, it's so interesting and diverse. So let me get this straight. So I just need to do some of this some too. You understand what I'm telling you? Now let me get this straight. This ain't gonna get it. I'm gonna have to do some of this too. Like, seriously? I just don't relate the two. Does that make sense? Now listen, I'm not putting down weightlifting. I'm just saying it's a little more complicated than weightlifting when you change it around. Does that make sense? Yeah. And once, like, I don't want to get in trouble with this, but I want to say it's like, yes. Do you think I talk to her differently than I talk to you? No. Yeah, 100%. Right? Tell her where you went to college.
North Carolina A&T State University.
And what's your degree?
Supply chain management.
You see what I'm saying? Like, I can't deal with you the same as I deal with her.
I didn't go to college.
Does that make sense?
I'm pushing my kids to go.
My diversity is bizarre. Like, I don't just do push-ups, sit-ups, and run on treadmill. I'm turning over tires. I'm climbing chains. I'm doing push-ups, up, downs, chasing people, running from. Does that make sense? Like, it's insanity to me. It's the most interesting thing in the world, being in business.
I don't think his mind stops.
It don't. Because when I do, I get depressed. When I do, I get bored.
And then you start thinking about the bad things that could happen.
No, and I'll go broke. I don't want to go broke. Does that help answer the question?
No, yeah, that's exactly what I was
so many things that you need to do in business. You say, but I thought you said the dumbest people in the world can do it. Oh, yeah, 100%. Don't you think the dumbest people in the world can get abs and biceps? If you don't, go to a gym. And then follow them to their car when they go out. You'll be like, oh, shit. Does that make sense? Like yeah? Is that okay? Yes, you have to be diversified, and I'm going to tell you how to be diversified. All right, thank you. That was good. Y'all a lot nicer house now.
Yes.
A lot nicer house now. But see, how do I remember that too? You know? Yeah. And how do I think of that? Because I'm just like any dum-dum could remember that. But dum-dums don't remember that. They remember stuff that don't matter. Like what happened to them when they was a kid. Like, who cares? Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares what happened to you. What we care about is what happened to her. What happened to her? You don't want me to get her to tell you. You know? It's just, nobody cares about what happened to you. So write that down. Nobody cares what happened to me. Write that down. Listen. This is listening. Nobody cares what happened to you. How's that, Jeff? Nobody cares what happened to you. You say, well, what if you ask me? Well, don't worry. When I ask you, you get so dadgum mesmerized, you're going to tell me anyway, so whatever. Does that make sense? So that's what you got to do. You got to ask people. When I interview people, that's what I do. When you interview people, you need to attract them. The people that, did you bring your people? Is this one of them? Tell me who they are. Oh, was that the girl I talked to on the phone? Uh-huh. Hold on, Mike.
Meredith, she's our administrative person.
Okay.
Wendy, of course, and we have Sarah and Louisa. And
that's the two that when I talked to one of them.
Greenville.
Which one I talked to? Sarah. Okay. Is this making sense? First time y'all been here? Y'all want to get rich? I know y'all want to get rich. Which one of you quit college and said, I ain't going to college, I'm just going to get rich? Sarah?
Louisa. Louisa's at the end.
Oh, I thought you said Sarah. Louisa and?
Sarah.
What was you going to say, Sarah?
I said I was a teacher.
You were a school. You quit being a school teacher?
Yes.
Because you want to make a lot of money?
Yes.
What were you teaching?
ESL.
What's that?
English as a second language.
English as a second language.
Yeah.
And where'd you go to college?
Elizabeth City.
Elizabeth City.
Bacon Pride.
What do we say? Go Eagles, or what are they?
Go Vikings.
Go Vikings. All right, good deal. All right. Yeah, you can keep it. All right. What does your group look like? Because what your group looks like is what you're attracting. So if you get a bunch of them dum-dums you was talking about, that's who you're attracting. You're going to need to attract some smarter people. Does that make sense? You're going to need to attract some more passionate people. You're going to need to get some more intelligent people. Does that make sense, Terry? Does this make sense? You typically attract who you are. Okay? So you might want to look at you a little bit and say, what am I attracting? If you are attracting people that don't care about getting rich, it might be you don't care about getting rich. Does that make sense? You might be part of the problem. So what are you attracting? And how are you attracting them? People, I learned this in Amway. It said, they said that people will come around to see you burn. So like, let's say if somebody said, there's a guy in a parking lot pouring gas on his head, he's getting ready to light himself. We'd all be like, better go check that out. You know, people are attracted to attractive, and people are attracted to enthusiastic. People are interested, and committed people are attracted to committed people. So if you come up to me and go, I ain't got nobody committed on my team, I'll be like, I've seen your work ethic. I know why you ain't attracted to nobody. You with me? Committed people are attracted to committed people. Enthusiastic people are attracted to enthusiastic. And let me tell you something. What's your name? Caroline. The way to get it is fake it. Does that make sense? People say, I've heard people say faith it, F-A-I-T-H, faith it till you make it. I've heard rednecks say fake it till you make it. And then you go to these psychology books, and they write like 37 pages to basically say, act this way. So what you do is you just start acting, faithing, or psychologically manipulating. Just say, this is what I'm going to do. So when I say this flip switch, all you got to do is flip that switch. And and then, now I'll tell you this, it is hard to fake commitment. When you get a chance, pop back over to that where it's had Megan Wood up there at 500,000, Billy. All right. I do have something for it. So this is, I don't want to get deep at all. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what you imagine and what's real. If y'all hadn't done this, I would ask you to start getting here. I have dreams so vivid. I'm talking about sleeping. I'll sometimes ask somebody, I go, hey, did I talk to you yesterday? And they'll be like, no. I go, you check your phone. I'll look at my phone and I'll be like, yeah, I didn't. That I had that conversation. Meaning, I picture driving a Ferrari, and then one day I'm driving a Ferrari. Does that make sense? I picture getting rich, and then I get a big check. I picture it. In other words, I speak it, I talk it. I would tell y'all, this is huge. There's a huge psychological thing behind what you say is what you get. Here's what I'm going to say. You don't have to wonder if Megan Wood is committed. But at some point, you got to start going, how committed are they? You with me? Does that make sense? I'm not trying to be mean, but people can read numbers. You understand what I'm telling you is? Does it make sense? Don't tell me, I don't know who says this, but I think it kind of messes the point up a little bit. It says, don't pee in my ear and tell me it's raining. You ever heard that one? Don't pee in my ear and tell me it's raining. People don't like that. They'll be like, I don't like that. So when you want to appear committed, be committed. Well, I'm not committed. How do I fake it? Book 40 appointments, go on the appointments. You go, well, I don't want to do that. I didn't ask you nothing about what you wanted to do. I asked you what you wanted to be. You want to be rich, we're going to have to do this. You don't get to dictate the do and the be. You just dictate the be. I dictate the do. Does that make sense? The book, I want to block this guy so my running back can come around this way. I don't get to pick this foot. I got to move that foot. Does that make sense? I get to pick that I want to win a championship, but I don't get to pick which foot to move. You say, what if you don't know? What did coach tell you? Move that foot. Now you go. Now just do that. Does that make sense? So when they stop crying, quit talking. But if they ain't crying, you've not pushed hard enough. Does that make sense? So, and watch this. Megan Wood is listening, and here's what she's thinking. God, he pushed harder than I did. You see what I'm saying? But it's harder on the phone because you can't tell when they're crying. But they're in person, and there's new Zoom technology, and FaceTime stuff, you can tell a little bit better. So whenever I have a serious call with you, I usually want you sitting in front of me, or at least on Zoom. I'd really love to have him, because when you sit in front of me, I can see your foot start twitching and all kinds of telltale signs there in a panic. By the way, have y'all noticed everything I'm talking about has to do with listening? If 90% of what person says is their body language, and you can't see their body, how you know what they're saying? That makes sense. Their body tone, the way they're moving, how they're twitching, what they're saying, whether they're high pitch, low pitch. It's not so much the words, and a lot of it's the way they look. You want to look the part too. All right, all this is listening. All right. Attraction and enthusiasm. That's the two first things off of listening. Okay, next thing. Listening. When you're listening, you want to validate and edify. You do not have the power to change people, but you have the power to give people to change. You have the power to give it to people so they can change. But you can't make them change. They got to change. But you got to be the power giver. What's your name? Have you heard that before? You can't get people to change, but you can give them power to change. Who told you that? You heard it? You don't know where you heard it? Co-workers? School teachers knew that? Other school teachers knew that? They're smart school teachers. What do you say your name is?
Yanka.
Yanka. Spell it for me.
Y-A-N-C-A.
What is it?
Y-A-N-C-A.
Y-A-N-C-A.
Correct.
Does that kind of remind you of a song?
YMCA? Yes, it does.
My name is Y-A-N-C-K. Hey, let's say it again.
Y-A-N-C-A.
Y-A-N-C-A.
Yes.
Y-A-C-N-A. You just got to sneak it in. Right?
Yes.
What's your last name?
Chavez.
I knew it was going to be difficult.
Chavez. C-H-A-B as in Victoria, E, and then Z as in zebra.
Yankee is your first name?
Yanka.
Yanka?
Yeah.
Yanka. So, what'd you say? Y-N-C-A. Y-A-N-C-A. Yanka. Yeah. Who hired you, Yanka?
Well, I'm an assistant to Terry and Tia.
We met briefly before?
Probably not.
No? Okay. All right. So, with your agents, that you're dealing with, they're going to want to make you pull your hair out. Have you already seen this? Have you worked with us very long?
No, but I've seen the coach.
You hadn't worked with us long enough to know that?
No, not really.
Okay. You're going to find this out. You can't make them change, but you can give them the power to change. And the power that you give them is those two words that I said. It's validate and edify. Okay? Validate and edify. So, validate is accept them how they are, as dumb as they are, as poor as they are, as short as they are. Accept. Okay? And then edify is when you acknowledge that there's something about them. Acknowledge that there's something good about them. The more you can do that with people, the more they have the power to change. Does this make sense? So can you see this, Sarah? If you attract people with enthusiasm and commitment because you're enthusiastic and committed, then it's a whole lot easier to accept and acknowledge. Does that make sense? So people say, do I have just dumb people or I'm a terrible coach? Sometimes I go, both. Your people are dumb and you're not coaching good. Sometimes they got good people, but they're not coaching good. Does that make sense? And then sometimes they got terrible people and they just keep coaching them. And I go, bro, that frog is not going to turn into a prince one day. Oh, but you said to accept and acknowledge and edify, and you could give them the power to change. Right. But it would help if they had more skill and talent to start with. Does that make sense? Kind of coming back to my football analogy. You can be the best coach in the world and not have the greatest players, and it's going to be hard to have a great team. It's that combination of great players. So attract them and then coach them. Does this make sense? Okay, so here's what I'm hoping that smart people are picking up on is what I'm doing is what I'm telling you to do. Like this is how I've done my life. This is how I've built the business. What's your name? Yeah. Hannah. You work upstairs? What do you do? Leads with Ashland. Okay. Good to see you. Leads help too. Leads help. All right. Last thing about listening. This might be the craziest. Can you give me a white sheet up, Billy, where I can write on it, sir? This is going to be my second tier. Getting into some deep doo-doo right here, Terry. And Paul Roberts. Last thing on listening. How you spell tolerance? Huh? Got to be close. All right. Listening. All right, y'all listen to me. 48 managers. Brandon. I really want Brandon to do really well. He's married to my daughter. You understand? I want Danny to do well because I've known him for 27 years. We're friends. You know, his wife had cancer. My wife had cancer. He deals with his youngins. I deal with my youngins. We're friends, right? So I want him to be successful. I want him to be successful because he's married to my daughter-in-law, and she's got extremely expensive taste. And if he can make a lot of money on top of my money, it'll be easier to take care of her instead of me having to do it all. Does that make sense? Because my little girl ain't going to be a bad situation. But if he would help take that some of the load off, you with me? A lot of pressure, right? A lot of pressure here. 27 years friendship. He don't want to let me down. I don't want to let him down. Does this make sense? But what I'm telling y'all is I'm doing everything that I just covered. Does that make sense? I'm doing everything I've just covered. The empathy and accepting and validating and all that, right? And also, if you look at me, it's extremely extremely difficult for you to tell what I like and don't like. Except, I don't like poor. I don't want to be poor. I want to be rich. Most people, I know what they think about everything. I know whether they like black. I don't know whether they like red. I know whether they like purple. I know about their children. I know everything. Does that make sense? It's very difficult to know anything for sure about me. You with me? Because I tell you, it's very tricky. Does that make sense? But here's how to win the game. Here's how you win the game. Do what's in the green book and do what's in the 8-step books, like your friend Danny has a gun to his head, or like one of your children. Imagine one of your children is going to be killed if you don't do what's in the green book and in the 8 steps book. And do that. Now you don't have time for politics. Now you don't have time for video games. People say, well, Andy, you don't understand. I'm not going to work my ass off for the rest of my life 100 hours. Guys, do you seriously think I work like I did when I got rich? Are you serious? My feet are giving me hell right now. What they're saying to me is, you know them flip-flops you've had on about 99% of this year? Let's go back to that program. I live at the beach, okay? So I wear flip-flops everywhere. Like where we live, it's on an island. You with me? It's on an island. I don't work like I worked. If you will give me 3 to 4 years of everything you got, you won't never have to work again. You'll be in such a habit, you'll have to keep working. But you will travel the world. You will have cars, guns, friends, money, politicians, whatever you want, whoever you want to be friends with, write them a check. People said, I don't want to have friends to write a check. Try to be friends with Kevin Keats writing a check, NC State. You better be able to jump high and shoot good, or I write a check. And you say, well, I won't want to be like that. If I was a coach, I'd be friends with everybody. No, you would not. You don't have time. You got to be picky. And the way you pick is based on what they can do. Does that make sense? Yeah. It's based on what they can do. If they can't write a check or they can't score, what good are they to you? Well, I like to treat everybody equal. That ain't in the blue book or the green book. Oh, by the way, it ain't in the big good book either. The good book, show me where it says treat everybody the same. Huh? No, it ain't in there. It's the most discriminating book there is. Matter of fact, it's going to send some people to hell and some going to heaven. How about that? I'm not talking about treating them bad. I'm talking about hell. That's how discriminating it is. You with me? The good book. Y'all know what book I'm talking about? The Bible. They don't. If they got that up in Ohio. All right. Watch this. Sarah and what's the other one's name? Louisa. Louisa. This is how you get them. Paul Roberts. This is how you grow them. It's inconceivable to me, the patience of people. Like, how could you be so patient in getting rich? Once you found this, why would you be so patient? Like, I was in an absolute panic when I saw this. I was like, oh my God, if they shut this thing down before I get rich, I'll lose my mind. Or if I get old before I get rich, this will blow my mind. Or if my daughter gets, if I'm not rich by the time she gets married, what are we going to do? If my kid turns 16 and I can't afford a 4-door badass truck, what am I going to do? Does that make sense? Like if I don't get rich before they shut down hunting in Africa and I miss that chance, I'm going to kill something. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to do stuff. Does that make sense? So what is it you want to do for your kids, your grandkids, for you. How is so patient? Now, on the other hand, why is Andy so patient with people that have been around forever and they won't do it? See what I'm saying? I'm insanely impatient with myself, but insanely patient with others. I'm insanely arrogant with myself, but insanely humble with everybody else. You get it, Terry? I don't need for you to be okay with not winning a Rolex watch. I don't need for you. Does that make sense? I want you to say to Tia and to yourself, I am better than them people. Here's what I want you to say. This is crazy. I know it's crazy. Everybody calm down. I want for my children more than everybody else wants for their children. But when you're talking to them, I want you to say, I know you love your children just as much as mine, but in your head, I want you to be saying, but you sure don't act like it. Does that make sense? But I want you to let that come out. Does that make sense? No seniority. No seniority. No seniority. You with me? I've been, today with the Alliance, we start with what you did this week. This week. Does that make sense? So when we start your agency, we got to be nuts about getting wealthy. But with everybody that we can tell, like, did you see, could you look around? Y'all do that ring. If you want to be rich in your head, raise your hand up. Raise your hand up real in your head, but like not physically. Look around. So when you can figure out which ones of them have their hands down, not raised, insanely humble, patient. How are you doing? I understand. I can't believe. That's amazing what happened to you. I can see where you struggle. And you go like, but even if they were born here and English is their first language, I'm still supposed to be patient with them? Yes. Do your hands like this. You know what I'm saying? In other words, put the pressure inside. Like, oh my God. Say something to your friend, Louisa, say, if I am ever that patient, just kill me. Just shoot me. Let my family get the life insurance. You know, does that make sense? With yourself. But with them, say, I understand. Does that make sense? And then what you do is, we have this thing called networking. Who do you know? We say it like this, every dud knows a stud. Does that make sense? So what we do is, over here, over here, if this is you, you do that tolerant and understanding and listen. But in here, it's arrogance and impatience. Does that make sense? And not arrogance like I'm smarter than you. It's I want it for my family more than you. Does that make sense? But you can't let it come out. That's bad. You tracking with this, Malik? There's something that's way different about this than coaching in Kevin Keats' job or Dave Doran's job or the head coach of the football team. They have limited spots. We have unlimited spots to pick a national championship team. They have to be impatiently outward and cut them from the team. We can let them stay on the team because they can carry. They do 1,000 a month, and we be nice to them, and we can be friends with them. You with me? Like, it's unlimited on how many we can have. The other thing is when, like, watch this. In your case, if this is Andy, or let's say this is you, and this is Boone, okay? Watch this. What if you come in this business and smoke him? In other words, you just build it $1 million first year. His first year, let's say he made $22,000. You make $1 million. No seniority. You came in, or Pharaoh, watch this. You or Pharaoh build it faster. Does that make sense? This is the way it works. Patience gets me to you. Okay? Now, Boone knows, he will tell you I'm the most patient person. But Boone's been around me long enough. He can see inside me. You know what I mean? He knows how crazy I am. Is this making sense? Is this making sense? So, Jeff, is about it? Paul Roberts, Mike Leventovich, Tony Carey, patience, humility, arrogance, and impatience. Let's go, baby. Does this make sense? All right. That's the best I can tell you in an hour and a half. If I get another chance with you Friday at 10 o'clock, there's some training tomorrow at 1 o'clock, some product training. There's so many videos, so many books to be read. I would try my best, Terry, to get some more of this stuff executed. Danny, some more of this stuff executed. You with me? Let's execute the basic stuff. Sharp, you with me? Let's execute this stuff. It's so easy. A caveman could do it. The dumbest of the dumb ones in here could do it. I promise you. So what's the separator? That's who wants it. Who wants it? And how fast do you want it? Who wants it and how fast you want it? I love y'all. I got to go. Thank y'all so much for participating. Thanks for tuning in.